Imagine going to a spa to get the vampire facial to erase wrinkles and acne scars and make you look younger, and then contracting HIV. That's what happened to two women in New Mexico. And today I want to talk about the vampire facial, what it is, HIV, what a human immunodeficiency virus is, how these two things are related, how this was contracted from a skin treatment, and what we should know as consumers to protect ourselves when companies and systems don't do that for us. So in New Mexico in 2018, different people were getting the vampire facial. Specifically, 2 women have been diagnosed, and essentially they contracted HIV from getting the vampire facial, which is a facial that extracts blood from your body, spins it in a centrifuge machine to extract the platelet-rich plasma, and then applies that back to your skin to quote-unquote heal or to rejuvenate. And as of now, there are only 2 women who have been diagnosed with HIV, but I have a feeling there's probably more. The center has been shut down. It was VIP Spa or VIP Salon in New Mexico, and it has been shut down back in August or September. And, the health officials are giving people free hepatitis screening and free HIV screening because those are diseases that can be transferred and transmitted through blood. But this is scary, not only for those people who have been going through this, but for anybody who trusts companies or corporations to take care of us. As skincare fanatics, we should be able to go to a spa or go to a salon and trust that the esthetician, the doctor, or the person who's doing this procedure knows what they are doing, that they are using sanitary procedures and precautions to keep us safe. And we shouldn't have to have a medical degree or a lab safety degree in order to keep ourselves safe. But unfortunately, sometimes things go wrong, and that's what it takes. And to be conscious, educated consumers, and to not get ripped off by these things, and to preserve our health and wellness, the industry needs to step up, and we as consumers probably need to step up as well. So let's first talk about the vampire facial. What is it? You've probably heard of it because of Kim Kardashian. She did it years ago, and it's the facial that makes your face all bloody. Whoa! And it's essentially a combined treatment where the face is either needled or lasered. And this creates micro tears or damage in the skin, and this causes the body's own immune response to react to try to rebuild that collagen, to rebuild tissue, and to, reform some of the scars. I have acne scars, and I would probably be a candidate. Have I done it? No, but probably would be a candidate. Now, where the plasma comes in and where the blood portion comes in is that, your blood is extracted, and your blood contains a bunch of different materials, including plasma, specifically platelet-rich plasma, PRP. And when you have this together in this tube, you put it in a centrifuge machine, which spins it around really fast, and it separates the plasma from the blood. Now, it's not pure separation. I think there's a ratio of 7 to 10. I could be totally wrong. It's not pure separation, but it essentially evens those out and extracts the plasma. They then numb your face, so a ton of numbing cream, and then they do either a laser or microneedling to create holes in your skin, and then they put the plasma on. I've also seen, there's no regulation for this really, so I've also seen some YouTube videos years ago where they just put the plasma on and then they needle the skin. It's sketchy, let me tell you that much. But essentially, the plasma is supposed to rejuvenate your skin. It has been shown to help you heal faster. It's your body's own plasma. It has growth factors, so it should get rid of wrinkles and help scars regenerate and, make you look younger. And the truth is, the medical consensus is not out there, especially because there is no consistency in which these procedures are done. It's all pretty circumstantial. We don't know if it actually works. And on top of that, the vampire facial is kind of like an add-on. When you look at it, it's really just microneedling and you're adding the plasma, or it's laser and you're adding the plasma. So one would even ask the question, does the vampire facial actually work, or is it just the microneedling that's being effective, or the laser treatment? And these cost from $300 to almost $3,000 depending on where you get them. You have numbing cream, so it's not so painful. This depends on where you get it. I don't think anything like this should ever be done if it's not under a licensed medical doctor's supervision. But it sounds like some estheticians or some people who aren't even certified were performing these. In California, California law says that an esthetician cannot even make incisions in the skin. So like if you ever go to an esthetician and they actually use a lancet or a needle to get like a pimple out, that's technically illegal and against the law. You have to have a medical license in order to insert or to make incisions or punctures in the skin. But it happens. And in New Mexico, that's pretty much what happened. And that's why this is dangerous. Now, the spa owner in New Mexico is saying, but oh my God, I opened up a new needle for every single patient. I made sure that it was sanitary. There is no possible way it could have been done here. But when we discuss how HIV works, we will soon realize that it was done at the same place and that there's actual DNA evidence to prove so. And this is the other problem, is that this is a bodily fluid. This is blood and this is plasma. Even if you used a sanitary needle every time, depending on what container it's being put in, depending on how you're using it in the centrifuge machine, there could be some cross-contamination. And then also think about this. They're taking this plasma, applying it to the skin and microneedling. Those microneedling devices are expensive. It could be a microneedle. It could be like one of those push pens. But if you're using the same device on multiple people because it's a $15,000 device, what if you're not cleaning that properly? You're literally spreading plasma, blood, and anything else that are in those fluids. And then on top of that, if you're using a brush or something to spread this across the skin, if that touches another surface or something else, you could then spread that to another patient so easily. And oh my God, like 3-4 years ago when this was super hyped up, I was watching YouTube videos and holy guacamole, like, you would see these procedures going down and there were just so many things going wrong, not only sanitary wise, but like Leisha X Sparkage, I've been watching her for 10 years. She got a vampire facial. They gave her the plasma to take home and apply a week later. Would you piss in a jar and save it for a week? This is a bodily fluid. This is blood and plasma that can grow bacteria. Oh my God, just thinking about the safety. It's like you don't just take bodily fluids and package them up and keep them on your bathroom sink where it can get wet and moist and breed bacteria and then reapply that to your skin, and then you're dealing with your body's immune system. You're hoping that your immune system will work, which is why this treatment should work. But again, if your immune system is compromised, it's not gonna do that for everybody. If you have an autoimmune disease, and like this happens all the time. And again, there's no medical research to even prove these are efficacious. Is it the microneedling that actually worked? Is it even the blood plasma? So then, in order to understand this, we have to understand HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. HIV is very special because it basically hijacks your body's immune system. HIV is a virus. It's specifically a retrovirus, and it enters your body, it enters your cells, and it takes over them. Your immune system is what keeps you healthy. It's why, your body is able to fight having a cold or having mononucleosis. And the HIV virus is very sneaky. It is packaged with an envelope protein, and it gives your body an envelope full of RNA. And this is not a good envelope to have. Essentially, it gives your body a blueprint to produce more of it. And normally, if a foreign invader gets into our skin, our body, our immune system attacks it and says, "Be gone." But this retrovirus specifically targets immune cells, T helper cells, dendritic cells, and I think macrophages, which are your blood cells in your body that keep you healthy, and it hides in them. It takes them over and it hides. So your body can't attack the virus because it wouldn't attack itself. But this HIV virus goes inside, has RNA and a transcription factor and enzymes, and it produces more of itself and uses your cells as a breeding ground. So you know how like in horror movies, demons take over and possess a person and like make that person do weird things? That's what happens in your body, only it possesses your cells to make more of themselves and replicate. And if your T cells, your T helper cells cannot fight off infections like colds or the flu, That's what ends up killing you. HIV does not kill you. HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. It turns into AIDS if it's untreated. And AIDS and HIV don't kill you. They stop your immune system from working so that something that would never normally be a problem, like a common cold, would then kill you because it can't be fought off. And again, HIV can be transmitted through bodily fluids, placenta from mother to child, from breast milk, but also from blood. And that's where this becomes the big factor, because this blood and this plasma obviously must have contained HIV. I think it was HIV type 1, because type 2 HIV is like almost non-existent, but must have contained this, got into someone's body, and then their cells start replicating. Now, some people would say, well, how do we know that these women didn't already have HIV from somewhere else and it's just a coincidence? I think that's what like the SPA is trying to put forward. But remember, HIV is special. It has RNA, which is transcribed into DNA. And this transcription process, think of it as like writing blueprints, and it writes copies of the blueprints. The transcription is not perfect. It makes a lot of mistakes. And when it goes to inject that DNA into your cells, it's special. It kind of leaves behind footprints. It has handwriting, right? And so if we look at the handwriting from one and we compare it to another, we can kind of see if it came from the same source or if it came from separate sources, because it mutates along the way. And specifically for these two women who were diagnosed, from my understanding, medical officials said that it looks like it was a similar strain of HIV, so it came from the same place, and that's how they were able to target the SPA. And again, people are getting tested currently for HIV as well as for hepatitis A and B, but again, the problem is HIV takes like 12 weeks to show up. Some people could have this and not have symptoms. I don't think that there are only 2 people who've been affected by this, especially seeing as this SPA sounds like a really janky place. And this is terrifying, not only for the victims, but for anybody who trusts spas, who trusts practitioners, medical or not. You know, we go in for a relaxing spa weekend. We want to get pampered, taken care of, and, you know, maybe erase a couple of fine lines and wrinkles that the media tells us is ugly. We expect those care providers to take care of us. We shouldn't have to double check if they're switching their gloves or sanitizing their microneedling machines. But I think it is a huge lesson to consumers that we need to be really careful, because this is not just our skin, which is what we use to face the world with, but this is our health. This is our body. This is our immune system. And you know, this stems to other industries as well. And it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me really uneasy and just so sad that this has happened. But I hope that this is a wake-up call, because I'm sure this is just the first time it's being publicized. I'm sure it's happened 100 times over. I'm going to leave some links about HIV, about the vampire facial, so that you can double check what I said. And I'm also going to leave links to the news articles that are talking about this, because, you know, kind of just came out, and I'm sure the story is still developing. I have never received a vampire facial. I have never administered a vampire facial. It's not something that I think I would try. And again, the medical consensus, we don't even know that if it works. Or is it just an upsell that people are using to make money? It's sad. But if you do enjoy skincare and science and you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It's all about spreading the positivity forward and being educated and informed consumers so that we can make the proper decisions for our health and for our happiness. Here's another video you might enjoy, and here is another one on skin science. I love you guys. I want you to remember to take care of yourself, always ask the hard questions, and make the right choices for you. Be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye.